Now, I don't know about you guys, but this year I've been trying to get more vegetables into my diet. Now, I've got a cracker of a roast cauliflower recipe for you today. We're gonna make it the star of the show. This could be part of a banquet, great when you're having friends over. So we're actually gonna leave this cauliflower whole. We're going gangster on it today. We're gonna leave it whole. You could dice it up if you wanted to cut down the cooking time. All I've done is just slice off the bottom of the cauliflower so it sits nice and flat later on, kind of mimicking like a roast chook. And I'm gonna leave some outer leaves on. These leaves get beautiful and colored and caramelized when it cooks, and I think they make it look beautiful. I'll just cut a little kind of cross just to get some heat up into the core of that cauliflower because we want to eat the whole thing. We're going to cut down on some cooking time and we're just going to go straight into our pot of slightly salted water. Now that's just simmering away. We're going to give that about 10 minutes just in the water. It's going to make sure our cauliflower is nice and buttery when it's roasted and come out of the oven. So today we're going a little bit Middle Eastern. I'm going to make a cheats romesco with a tin of tomatoes, believe it or not. And we're also going to make a little dukkah to go with this. Dukkah can be kind of any nuts or spices that you like. My favorite things in a dukkah, and especially with cauliflower, I tend to always have cumin with cauliflower. They go really well together. So I've got about 2 teaspoons of whole cumin seeds and 2 teaspoons of whole coriander seeds. And we're just toasting them to bring the oils out. All right, I can smell the beautiful citrus notes of my spices, and that's how you know when they're ready. They only take about 40 or 50 seconds. So into our mortar and pestle, always with spices, we need a good touch of salt. So I'm gonna go in with about half a teaspoon of sea salt flakes. I love the green color of these pistachios and the kind of creaminess to them. This dukkah is really just a way of getting some texture onto the top of that roast cauliflower. Cauliflower's had about 10 minutes in our boiling water. We're going to carefully try and remove it from our pot. So all this is doing, the cauliflower's certainly not cooked through at this stage. We've just kind of got the cooking process started and we've got some moisture into the cauliflower. As I said, you can just pop it straight in the oven and go off and mow the lawn, whatever it is you do. It's only going to take about 30 minutes in the oven now. So our good mate olive oil goes on and just some sea salt. If you wanted to flavour this, now is the point to put any spices or tandoori paste, anything like that. You can change my recipe now. This is certainly not set in concrete. Into the oven for about 35 minutes, 220 degrees. So with any roast, you've got to have a little sauce to go with it. So I am making today my cheats romesco sauce, and it's a cheat because romesco sauce is normally a Spanish sauce made from roast capsicums that have been charred, some almonds, some vinegar, sometimes some thyme and lots of olive oil. This recipe actually came about, I was doing some recipe testing at home and I didn't have any capsicums and I had a tin of tomatoes and I thought this might work, it might not work. I can tell you what, I'm going to make romescos with tinned tomatoes more often now. This is a fantastic quick way of doing this. So all I'm going to do is into a jar here. You could use a food processor. I'm using a little stick blender today. So almonds are actually used to thicken up this sauce. This is just a fantastic way of using up the can of tomatoes that are looking at you in your pantry. We're going with the whole tin. I've got a couple of cloves of garlic. Really does add some nice heat into here, and when this sauce hits the hot cauliflower, some magic happens. I've got some harissa here. So harissa is a hot pepper paste, and we've got here some red wine vinegar. We'll start with about 2 tablespoons. We can always add some more in, and we've got about a tablespoon of maple syrup. So the maple syrup's going to help balance up the tinned tomato, the acidity in them, and the heat of that harissa paste. All I need to do now is to give this a whiz. Talk about sauce in a flash. Going to put a touch of olive oil into our romesco. So that's our cheats, quick and easy romesco sauce done. Our dukkah's waiting on the bench. We've got about 20 more minutes with the cauliflower in the oven, and it's going to be time to eat. Look at that. Something seriously magical has happened in the oven. It's going to be gorgeous and buttery on the inside. Only one thing left to do, and that's to plate up. Really, really easy sauce to have on hand. This will go with seafood, with chicken. Ever so delicately pick up our, you can hear how crunchy that is. Amazing. A whole roast cauliflower. Now I've got some sesame seeds just to finish off our dukkah. These don't need to be ground down. That little dukkah sprinkle. And it's really just a matter of scattering these over. Give us some beautiful texture, tie in all the flavors. There we have it, that's the dish. Super easy, you cannot tell me that that doesn't want to make you try more vegetables at home.